ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, a term that has gained remarkable popularity over the last decade, especially in the world of online video. It describes a tingling, pleasurable sensation that typically begins on the scalp and moves down the neck and spine, often triggered by specific visual, auditory, or tactile stimuli. While for some people ASMR might sound like a new internet trend, for many others it has become a genuine tool for relaxation, stress relief, and even insomnia treatment. Understanding what ASMR really is, how it works, and why it affects some people more than others requires exploring both psychology and neuroscience. At its core, ASMR is a sensory phenomenon. It involves the activation of certain brain regions that are associated with pleasure, calmness, and social bonding. When someone experiences ASMR, the sensation is not just physical, it is deeply emotional. People report feeling safe, comforted, and connected. It is like the body's natural way of rewarding calm attention and gentle interaction. Interestingly, this response seems to have similarities with other phenomena such as frisson, the chills one feels when listening to powerful music, yet the triggers and sensations are distinct. Frisson tends to be sudden and emotionally intense, while ASMR is slow, gentle, and sustained. The triggers that cause ASMR can vary widely from person to person. Common triggers include soft whispering, tapping sounds, the rustling of paper, brushing noises, and personal attention scenarios, like someone pretending to give you a haircut or medical checkup. Visual triggers may include slow, deliberate hand movements or meticulous actions, such as drawing or folding towels. Some people even respond to watching others perform focused tasks, like painting or cooking. The key element across most triggers is gentleness and intimacy. They replicate the soothing dynamics of caring social interactions, even if they are simulated through a screen. To understand why ASMR feels so calming, researchers have investigated how the brain processes these stimuli. Functional MRI studies suggest that ASMR activates parts of the brain linked to reward and emotional arousal, including the medial prefrontal cortex and the nucleus accumbens. These are the same regions involved in empathy, social bonding, and the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and oxytocin, the so-called feel-good chemicals. This connection supports the idea that ASMR mimics the comforting sensations of being cared for by another person, something our brains are evolutionarily wired to respond to. It's as if the mind is fooled into believing it's receiving genuine personal attention. Interestingly, not everyone experiences ASMR. Estimates suggest that around 20 to 25% of the population feel strong ASMR sensations. Another portion feel mild effects, while others feel nothing at all. The reasons for this difference are not entirely clear. Some researchers believe it has to do with personality traits and sensitivity to sensory stimuli. Studies have found that people who experience ASMR tend to score higher in measures of openness to experience and neuroticism, meaning they are more attuned to subtle emotional and sensory cues. Others suggest that early childhood experiences of nurturing and affection may shape the brain's responsiveness to ASMR triggers later in life. The rise of ASMR as a cultural phenomenon is closely linked to YouTube. Around 2010, creators began uploading videos labeled as ASMR, featuring simple sounds and quiet role-plays. At first, it seemed like a niche curiosity, but as viewers started reporting deep relaxation and improved sleep, the trend exploded. Today, there are millions of ASMR videos online, and some creators have built careers around producing them. The genre has diversified into many subcategories: whispering videos, tapping sessions, cooking ASMR, role-plays, unboxings, and even live ASMR streams. Each style caters to different preferences, but the common thread is always the same: gentle, detailed sensory engagement designed to elicit calm. Beyond its soothing qualities, ASMR has also attracted attention from the scientific community for its potential health benefits. Many viewers use ASMR to help with insomnia, anxiety, or chronic stress. In surveys, a large majority report falling asleep more easily or feeling less anxious after watching ASMR content. The physiological basis for this is likely linked to the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of the body responsible for relaxation and recovery. ASMR appears to lower heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and promote the release of hormones associated with rest. In this sense, ASMR could be seen as a form of digital meditation, combining mindfulness and sensory immersion. Yet despite its benefits, ASMR remains somewhat mysterious. One of the biggest challenges in studying it scientifically is its subjective nature. There's no external way to measure whether someone is truly experiencing ASMR tingles. Researchers must rely on self-reports. Moreover, since triggers differ widely among individuals, it is difficult to design standardized experiments. Still, progress is being made. Neuroscientists have started using brain imaging techniques, physiological sensors, and controlled stimuli to better understand what happens during an ASMR experience. Early results show measurable differences in heart rate and skin conductance, confirming that ASMR is not merely imaginary, it has a real physiological signature. One of the most fascinating aspects of ASMR is its connection to social and emotional perception. Many popular ASMR videos involve role plays where the viewer is given attention and care, such as being examined by a doctor, having makeup applied, or receiving a haircut. These scenarios might seem simple, but psychologically, they replicate powerful cues of human bonding. The soft voice, direct gaze, and slow movements simulate one-to-one interaction. Even though viewers know it's fictional, the brain interprets it as a form of social connection. This might explain why ASMR can feel so comforting to people who are lonely, anxious, or under stress. It recreates in a controlled and safe environment the sensory cues of intimacy and care. Another interesting observation is the overlap between ASMR and certain therapeutic techniques. For example, mindfulness meditation also relies on focused attention and non-judgmental awareness of sensory details. Both induce a state of calm presence. Similarly, cognitive behavioral therapy for anxiety sometimes includes relaxation exercises that involve breathing and bodily awareness, which parallels the immersive attention ASMR videos demand. Even massage therapy and Reiki, though physical rather than virtual, share the same principles of gentle, attentive stimulation that activates the parasympathetic system. This convergence has led some psychologists to suggest that ASMR could be used as a supplemental therapy for relaxation and sleep disorders. However, ASMR is not without controversy. Some critics argue that its growing commercialization and sexualization in certain corners of the internet distort its original purpose. While the majority of ASMR creators maintain a strictly platonic and calming tone, a minority of content has blurred the boundaries, leading to misunderstandings about the phenomenon. It is important to distinguish genuine ASMR, which relies on relaxation and comfort, from content that intentionally aims for erotic stimulation. The two experiences are neurologically and psychologically different, though both can involve similar sensory cues. For most people, ASMR remains a deeply peaceful experience entirely detached from sexual arousal. Cultural context also plays a role in how ASMR is perceived. In Western societies, where personal space and boundaries are emphasized, ASMR might feel like an unusual or novel experience. In contrast, in cultures where physical closeness and nurturing gestures are more common, ASMR-like sensations may have always existed but were never named. The internet has simply provided a space where people could collectively identify and share this sensation, transforming a private quirk into a global phenomenon. The fact that the term ASMR was coined only in 2010 illustrates how new our scientific understanding of it truly is. From a neuroscientific point of view, one theory suggests that ASMR could be related to the mirror neuron system, the same network that allows us to empathize and mimic others' emotions. When we see someone performing a gentle act or hear soothing sounds associated with care, our brains may simulate that experience internally. This neural mirroring could trigger the tingling sensation and the feeling of calm connection. Another hypothesis points to evolutionary roots. ASMR may replicate the comforting sensations of grooming or parental care, behaviors that promote social bonding and group cohesion. From this perspective, ASMR is not a weird modern habit, but an ancient human response adapted to a digital environment. As ASMR research progresses, scientists are beginning to explore its clinical potential. Could ASMR be used in hospitals or therapy settings to help patients relax before surgery or to manage chronic pain? Preliminary studies are promising. Because ASMR seems to activate reward and relaxation pathways without drugs, it could become a low-cost, non-invasive tool for emotional regulation. Some therapists already integrate ASMR videos into relaxation routines, reporting positive outcomes for patients with anxiety or insomnia. While more controlled studies are needed, the future applications of ASMR in health and wellness look encouraging. There's also a growing technological side to ASMR. Advances in 3D audio recording, known as binaural sound, have revolutionized the experience. Binaural microphones capture sound in a way that mimics human hearing, allowing listeners to perceive spatial directionality through headphones. When someone whispers in the left ear or taps on the right side, the brain interprets it as real, physical proximity. This creates an immersive effect that enhances tingles and realism. Virtual reality is pushing this even further. ASMR in VR can combine sound, visuals, and interactivity, producing experiences that feel almost tangible. As haptic feedback technology improves, users might eventually feel ASMR triggers through gentle vibrations or tactile cues, blending neuroscience and immersive media. Interestingly, ASMR has influenced not just relaxation culture, but also marketing, art, and entertainment. Brands have used ASMR-style advertising to evoke sensory pleasure. Think of the crisp sound of a soda opening, or the soft crunch of chocolate. These ads capitalize on the same neurological pathways that ASMR activates. In art, ASMR has inspired exhibitions and performances, exploring intimacy and perception in the digital age. Even mainstream musicians and filmmakers have begun experimenting with ASMR-like soundscapes to create immersive atmospheres. The boundary between science, art, and digital culture has become porous, and ASMR sits right at the intersection. Despite all this progress, ASMR still raises fundamental questions about human perception. Why do some brains interpret gentle sounds as pleasurable tingles, while others feel nothing? How does the mind translate abstract auditory cues into physical sensations? Could there be genetic or neurological markers that predict ASMR sensitivity? Answering these questions will deepen our understanding not only of ASMR, but of consciousness itself, the mysterious bridge between mind and body. ASMR shows that perception is not just about processing information, it's about emotion, memory, and connection. For millions of people, however, scientific explanations are secondary. What matters is the personal experience. After a stressful day, putting on headphones and listening to soft tapping or whispering can bring profound relief. Many describe it as a mental sanctuary, a space of calm where they can escape from anxiety and overstimulation. In a world increasingly filled with noise, speed, and constant digital distraction, ASMR provides the opposite: slowness, attention, and serenity. It reminds us that our senses, when treated with care, can be tools of healing. Perhaps that is the true power of ASMR. It transforms everyday sounds, paper crinkling, raindrops falling, pages turning, into moments of peace. It reconnects us with the subtle beauty of perception, inviting us to listen more closely and breathe more deeply. Whether viewed as a neurological curiosity, a therapeutic aid, or an art form, ASMR reveals something universal about human nature: our desire for connection, comfort, and quiet pleasure. As research continues and technology evolves, one thing remains clear: ASMR is more than a trend. It is a window into how profoundly our senses shape emotion and how even the softest sound can touch the deepest parts of the mind.